Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us. And we are here to talk about Columbus State and our partnership with them from Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Ohio and our Big Futures program. We are so happy that we are able to deliver this content for you today and just make connections with the community and have a great collection of experts and employers here that have some pretty amazing opportunities for the youth that we all work with. My name is Sarah White. I am the high school mentoring manager here at Big Futures with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Ohio. And I'm joined with my colleague and wonderful coworker, Ida Williams, who's also a Big Futures match sport specialist with the agency. Also joining us today, we have professionals from the community from Honda, Worthington Industries, Steelcase, and of course, Columbus State. And we are excited and welcome them and just are really grateful and thankful that they're joining us today. To start off our conversation, we're going to have Kayla Ramey from Columbus State join us to share with us about the career pathway programs at Columbus State and just give us some general information about those programs before we hopefully have some students who can share about their experiences within those programs. So thanks for coming, Kayla.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm going to share my screen and hopefully that works. So give me just a second. Are you guys seeing my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So like Sarah said, my name is Kayla Ramey. I am the Outreach Program Coordinator here in the Office of Experiential Learning at Columbus State. And basically what I do is I am a cheerleader and navigator for students, helping them explore some of these experiential learning opportunities, get applied to them, kind of working with students all the way through the process until their first day of classes at the college when I officially hand them off to their advisors for the remainder of their program. And so I'm really here to help guide students from that process from as early as middle school up. So I'm going to talk to you today about two programs. See if I can get the slide to change. So we'll go over the programs. I do have a quick video just kind of seeing our programs in action. We also have some students that are going to be on the line, hopefully towards the end of this program, just here to answer some questions about their experience in these programs and what it's been like for them. And then obviously I'll give you some steps for getting started as well. And so our first program is the IT Flexible Apprenticeship Program. And really what this program is it is what we call an earn and learn program. So it gives students the opportunity to earn money while they earn their degree or while they learn. And so, you know, it really provides a paid year-long work experience for students while they go for their associate's degree that really allows them to do some integrated learning and real work experience in the field all before even graduating. And so it's really unique the way it works out, and I'll show you kind of an outline of how the program goes. But first I wanted to highlight just the majors and certificate options that are available through this program. And so we have three main ones. So cybersecurity, software development, and then data center tech. Data center is kind of the outlier of those three. It is a certificate program as opposed to an associate's degree program. And so for those that don't know, an associate's degree is a 2-year degree. A bachelor's degree is a 4-year, which we do have several students that get their 2-year with us and continue on to a 4. But for this program, it is a 2-year degree program in cybersecurity, software development, or a certificate, which is a little bit shorter academically through data center technician. And so I do have a quick video, and I share with sound, but we'll see if it actually works. Let me know if you can't hear the video.
Our apprenticeship program is designed for non-4-year degrees, which in cutting edge IT is pretty unique. It's not something we've done prior. So we actually are looking for people of diverse backgrounds, less than a 4-year degree. Columbus State gives us people who are hungry, who are eager, who want to learn, who want to grow, and really that's what we all want to do, right? So the curriculum at Columbus State helped them prepare very well. And not only did the folks come in here and adapt really well, but then Dr. Butler and several of the executives from Columbus State came over here and asked, how can we adjust our curriculum based on paired programming, based on new IT to make it even better? All 4 of them, we extended full-time offers because they excelled. They were just every bit as good or better than some of our college grads that we have from the best universities and the top of the top. So I think this model is groundbreaking, and I think it leads us to places that historically we wouldn't ever have thought of going. Columbus State is our premier partner.
So that's just a little bit of an overview of the IT program. As you can see, our students were obtaining their degree, working in the industry. These students were working for Accenture. All four were extended full-time offers directly out of their apprenticeship position, which we see quite often. The other program I'm here to talk to you about today is the Modern Manufacturing Work Study program. It operates very, very similarly to our IT Flexible Apprenticeship program, except for it kind of focuses in a different area. So this is looking at our engineering technology majors, so electronic engineering technology, electromechanical engineering technology, and mechanical engineering technology. So electromechanical kind of being the beautiful marriage between electronic and mechanical. And then we have logistics, which, similar to data center, is kind of our outlier of the group. And so logistics really looks at the entire supply chain, and it combines supply chain, engineering, and IT all into one major. And so if you're someone that maybe really loves business, maybe you have an interest in IT, but you also really like STEM and engineering and kind of working with your hands on a day-to-day basis, logistics engineering technology might be a very good option for you. And so how do these programs work? What does it look like as a student? And so it's going to be 5 semesters of full-time coursework that students go through. And so the traditional 2-year degree is usually 4 semesters. We do add in a summer semester just to help you take less classes while you're working. And so you start classes just like every school year in the autumn. In that first semester, you're able to kind of just get your feet wet with college, start in these courses that have been designed to help you in this program. Make sure you have the basic fundamentals you need to start a job in the industry. And so you start those classes. We also start you with some career preparation, and I'll talk a little bit more about that on the next slide, but really helping you present yourself in the best way possible in that second semester when you get the opportunity to network and potentially interview with our employer partners. And so we've gotten you ready. You're going into interviews right in the second semester here at the college. And then if you score an apprenticeship or work study position, you are in that position for the entirety of the second year of your program. Like I said, it's a 2-year program. So first year, kind of getting some classes under our belt, getting all career ready. Second year, we are in the apprenticeship or work study. And so let's say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you're at your work study partner, and Tuesday, Thursday, you're taking classes. These are paid positions, so a lot of students don't realize that, but our average apprentice makes about $18 an hour. They do range anywhere from about $16 to $22 an hour while students are in the program. But then, you know, what's really great is not only are you making money while you're in the program, working in the industry, but you also have the opportunity to potentially walk out with a full-time role right out of your associate's degree with one of these industry partners, making somewhere in the range of $50,000 to $60,000 a year. We have had more recent graduates as of 2020 who have walked out of their associates making up to $75,000 a year. So really, really great program, really great earning potential. And you're going to get that strong network of support, both on the career services side, on the advising side, as well as from your employer once you reach that point in the program. And the best part is that school remains #1 priority, right? So these employers understand that you are a student first, and that this program is designed to aid you in your education. And so they're cognizant of that as you are their employee. And so that interview process, kind of what does that look like that? I get that question a lot of what's the interview process going to look like? And so first, you're going to have proactive advising, right? We're going to help you register for your classes. We're going to make sure you're on track both for the program and for your major at all times. And then we're going to get you what we call career ready. So help you do some resume review, help you do some mock interviews, elevator pitches, LinkedIn, diversity and inclusion workshops. Make sure you're as prepared as possible to go into a networking event and present yourself really, really professionally. Finally, we do an employer networking night, like I mentioned, which is really kind of like speed dating with our employers. So you get to go around and they get to meet you in person for the first time and ask you some questions before they make those big decisions on interviews. And then, you know, you go through this competitive interview process that ultimately would land you in those apprenticeship or work study positions. This is kind of a recap that we already touched on, but average of $18 an hour. You're also going to get an on-the-job mentor. So have someone that's mentoring you, not only advising you on the college side, but mentoring you on the employer side through this job. So you're not just an intern getting coffee. You're working at an entry-level role in the industry. 24 to 40 hours a week really depends on the position and the employer that you get paired with. And then you're getting that hands-on training and that opportunity for work study for full-time employment. And so, who are these employer partners? Some of them are on the line. You're going to meet them today that we work very closely with, such as Honda, Worthington Industries. But, we have a lot of employer partners, 30 plus for our MMWS side, and a rising 5 to 6 for our IT employers, namely Nationwide, Accenture, State Auto, and Huntington on the IT side. But we are continually growing as that program grows, and over 30 employers on the MMWS side. And so I like to just highlight these benefits, and I know we've touched on them already, but this is really more than just a job. I had a college job. I was a Starbucks barista, and other than teaching me to talk very, very fast, it didn't land me in a full-time role. It didn't pay me a living wage. I mean, it surely didn't help me achieve my goals in college. And so, this job does all of these things. This program allows you the flexibility to be a student and work in the industry while integrating your learning and walking out with potential for a full-time role. And so you're going to get support through the process, and it's a really easy way to really launch your career. And a lot of these employers actually offer tuition reimbursement for those that do convert to full-time. So if you're like, well, I want to get a 4-year, well, that's still absolutely possible. And having these employers that you're already linked up with pay for that as you continue on in your journey. And so getting started is pretty easy. So first you have to apply to Columbus State. So if you've never applied to Columbus State, you will have to apply. It's a free application, take you maybe 30 minutes, and there is no essay. You get your acceptance within 24 to 48 hours. Once you've applied to Columbus State, I ask that you put some time in my calendar, shoot me a text, send me an email, whatever works best for you. And really what we do is we talk about program eligibility, which there are a few academic standards, just making sure you don't need any prerequisite or developmental coursework prior to starting the program. Very rarely do I have a student that does, but it's always good to check first. So we talk about that. We get you the program application, which does differ from the Columbus State application. Again, it's free. There's no essay. It takes you very little time to complete. And then we work on getting you started and in the program ready for all the summer orientation and fun to come. So my information is on the screen. I'm sure they could share my information with you following this event as well. And those are the first 2 steps, pretty simple. Last thing I want to share with you is just about some of our upcoming summer camps at Columbus State. These are all free. They're designed for students going into 9th grade or just graduating high school, so that whole gamut. So if you're an 8th grader that'll be going into 9th grade after this summer, or you are a high school senior, anything in that realm fits. So 9th through 12th is what we're looking for these summer camps. They are free. You do have to apply online, but there are some really cool ones. The Alexa Skill Builder Camp is new this year. I believe the majority of these camps are being offered in a either fully virtual or a hybrid format, which I think it tells you more about that online for each individual one, but highly recommend it if you're interested in manufacturing, or you think you might be interested, or you think you might be interested in cybersecurity or software development. Going to camps like this while you're in high school is a really good way to kind of test the waters and figure out what you like and you don't like before you get to college. So highly recommend it. Happy to answer any questions about those as well. But that is all that I came to share with you today. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I will hand it off to Sarah to introduce our next speaker for the day.
Thanks, Kayla. That was a great summary of those 2 programs. And for our students who are interested in the possibility of a career program, I think that there are other career program options at Columbus State that we're not talking about today, but I'm sure that Kayla would be happy to share those with you if you wanted to contact her directly. One of our career partners, our professional partners, who's here to talk about their relationship with these programs at Columbus State, is Scott McLemore with Honda.
Thanks, Sarah. I'm going to share my screen. All right, hopefully everyone can see that. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Scott McLemore. I am currently a specialist within our workforce partnerships team. So I'm part of our government and industry relations team. And my role currently is to engage our external partners like Big Brothers and Big Sisters, high school, career centers, community colleges, and four-year colleges and universities, really to create a pipeline of talent into Honda. And so what I want to do is first share a little bit about myself. So I was the first in my family to go to college. And I attended and graduated from Purdue University with a Bachelor of Science in Manufacturing Technology. So engineering technology is my background. I live in Columbus. I've been here for 31 years and worked at Honda for that 31 years. 14 of that 14 years were in engineering. That's where I started in the company. That's a picture of me actually in the weld department at the Marysville Auto Plant up in the top right corner. And then 17 years in human resources, and that's where I spent my time now. And again, I mentioned how my current role is to really develop Honda's technical workforce pipeline strategies with our external partners. So many of you know Honda as a company that builds cars, right? The Accord, the Civic, everybody knows the CR-V, but you can see here that we have lots of products that we design and manufacture. And I want to try to show a little video here more about Honda so you can learn what we're about and what we make. Hopefully this works.
Honda is a company that makes things. In fact, last year, Honda associates here in North America made more than 5.1 million products, a great variety of products. Our founder, Soichiro Honda, believed that the purpose of technology is to help people and make their lives better. This includes not only the technologies in our products, but those required to build them. Honda began building products in the U.S. over 40 years ago in Marysville, Ohio. This served as the foundation for the production of automobiles in Ohio, which began in 1982 with the production of the Honda Accord at the Marysville Auto Plant. Honda now has 8 auto plants in North America, which last year alone built some 1.2 million Honda and Acura vehicles in the United States. Honda now has 12 manufacturing facilities in the U.S. These facilities manufacture a variety of products.
Oh no. And I knew that was going to happen. All right, let me try this. Let's try this again.
Honda is a company that makes things. In fact, last year, Honda associates here in North America made more than 5.1 million products, a great variety of products. Our founder, Soichiro Honda, believed that the purpose of technology is to help people and make their lives better. This includes not only the technologies in our products, but those required to build them. Honda began building products in the U.S. over 40 years ago in Marysville, Ohio. This served as the foundation for the production of automobiles in Ohio, which began in 1982 with the production of the Honda Accord at the Marysville Auto Plant. Honda now has 8 auto plants in North America, which last year alone built some 1.2 million Honda and Acura vehicles in the United States. Honda now has 12 manufacturing facilities in the U.S. These facilities manufacture a variety of products, including different types of vehicles, side-by-sides, engines and transmissions, ATVs, a variety of power equipment products, including lawnmowers, generators, and other power equipment products, the Honda Jet, and the turbofan engines that take it to the skies. Let's take a look inside to see some innovative steps we're taking in the manufacturing of an automobile. you can be a part of this challenging and rewarding work. There are many different career paths at Honda. The Honda team includes a wide range of people with diverse backgrounds. Our diverse workforce enables Honda to create and deploy those advanced vehicle and production technologies we need to help people and make their lives better. We have 4-year degree career paths, 2-year degree career paths, and non-degree paths. There's something for everyone. We are always interested in motivated, team-oriented candidates to join our company, and hope you'll come make history at Honda.
So sorry about the glitch in the video there, but so you can see we have a lot of different opportunities, a lot of different operations, but the hub of our operations in the US is really right here in Central Ohio. So you saw some of the plants here that were mentioned in the video. And we have several here, the Marysville Auto Plant, the East Liberty Auto Plant, we have our engine plant. All of these provide opportunities for careers at Honda. Something that makes Honda unique, I believe, is our culture and our values. So we have a very strong philosophy within our company. And we also have these 5 values: dreams, joy, passion, challenging spirit, and respect. And everything that we do within our organization is based on that philosophy and these values. We have a strong team that's sets direction and gets involved with the community and social responsibility. And that's very important to not only our leadership, but the associates, all of the associates within our organization at Honda. So there's opportunities to engage in various ways within the community. Something I really want to make sure I get across in this session is that there are many different functional areas, right? So people know maybe about maybe a production role where people are actually assembling and building the car, some of which you saw in the video. There are a lot of support functions that are needed to help, again, design and build the product. Some of that, some of those areas are research and development, quality, human resources, which I'm in now, accounting, purchasing. These all have teams that can support our building of our products and getting those products to our customers. Now, when it comes to STEM and engineering type roles, you might be familiar with the traditional, or what you hear about roles, the roles that are in school or functional areas, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering. But while we hired those degrees from colleges and universities, these are the roles that we're looking for. So when you're looking for positions at Honda, these might be some of the titles, the role titles that you'll see. You won't see industrial engineer. You may not see mechanical engineer, but all of these different types of roles are ones that we have and are looking for people to fill within our organization. Another thing I want to make sure I get across is, and you heard Kaylor talk a little bit about 2-year degrees that can be obtained through Columbus State, for example. And then you're also probably familiar with 4-year degrees with institutions like Ohio State University or OU, Ohio University, and others. So we have a lot of different opportunities. And I want to explain the difference here between those two. So we have roles within our organization: equipment service technician or industrial maintenance, that are require a 2-year degree, such as that from Columbus State, as Kaylor mentioned. And you can be a technician with a great career and a great role with that degree. We also hire people with 4-year degrees. And when it comes to engineering, those people, while they work in engineering, they might also work in design and complex analysis. So there are opportunities for both. And I want to make sure that you understand that one requires a little bit less math, and that's on the manufacturing side and the maintenance. And then on the research side, that requires a little bit more math. This is just an example of some technology changes that have happened. I won't go into all of this, but you can see one here that's safety. We used to use gates how the technology has changed now to protect people while they're in the production area. We use sensors, and right, so we have to have technicians that understand how to operate and maintain and troubleshoot this type of equipment. Now, when it comes to opportunities, Kayla talked about internships and with the Modern Manufacturing Work Study Program. Honda has a very strong internship, or sometimes we call it a co-op program, for 2-year and 4-year degree students. And again, they're in all of these functional areas. So you can be in HR, you can be in quality, you can be in our purchasing team, or you can be in our manufacturing engineering team and have an internship or co-op as a college student within our organization. One that I want to highlight before I wrap things up is Anton. So you can see Anton's a young man who graduated from Thomas Worthington High School in 2013. He enrolled at Columbus State's Modern Manufacturing Pathway upon graduation. He worked with us for a full year in that Modern Manufacturing Work Study program while he completed his technology degree at Columbus State. And we paid him a wage during that time. He became a full-time technician with us with a starting salary of $55,000. So he's been with us since 2015 and has increased his salary since that time and loves his job. And so he works with the robots and automation within our plants here in Ohio. If you're interested in applying, these are 2 websites that you can look to apply. So if you're interested in a production associate role, again, that requires a high school diploma or a GED. You can apply at this site here. And if you're interested in, if you're enrolled in college and you're interested in one of the internships or co-op or modern manufacturing work study opportunities, you can find out more at this site here about our opportunities and apply at that site. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Sarah to introduce our next presenter. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. We also have a couple of great representatives here from Worthington Industries, who is also a professional partner with Columbus State and also is working with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Ohio, looking to connect with some motivated and excited Big Futures kids who are looking for jobs and careers in their near future. So thanks, Gina and Lisa, for being here, and I will give the screen over to you.
Thanks for having us. My name is Gina Gamble, and I am the Talent Acquisition Specialist at Worthington Industries. I've been with the organization for 3 years now, and within my role at Worthington, I am responsible for managing our high school programs, college recruiting, as well as our community partnerships. I also have my colleague Lisa Devine on the call today, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to her while I pull up the screen, and she can go ahead and introduce herself to y'all.
Great. Hello, everybody. It's very nice to meet you all today. As Gina said, I'm Lisa Devine. I have the privilege of working alongside of Gina as a talent acquisition specialist. My role is really have a great privilege of talking to folks and recruiting, really, to talk to folks and allow me to have an opportunity to get great folks to join our teams and our facilities. I mostly do hourly recruiting, so those are the production roles within our facilities locally here in Columbus and other locations throughout the United States. So we're very excited to be with you and talk about some of the opportunities we have available at Worthington.
All righty, I'm trying to pull this up, but it just exited out, so let me try one more time here. I think it's reopening now. Sorry about this, guys. All right, let me try one more time. Fingers crossed on this one. right, can you guys see that?
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you. Great. So if you guys are not familiar with Worthington Industries, we are a global steel processing organization. As you can see from the screen, we've been around for quite some time now. We were founded in Columbus, Ohio over 65 years ago. Our headquarters are in Columbus. You might recognize two of our buildings. When you drive down 270, they're the two blue ones on the side of the highway. When I describe Worthington, I like to break us up into two different areas. Basically, our bread and butter and how we make our money at Worthington is from processing steel and manufacturing pressure cylinders. So if you're familiar with brands like Balloon Time helium tanks, Blue Rhino, propane tanks that go in your gas grill, or Coleman cylinders used for camping equipment, we actually make those at our facilities at Worthington. They're just not branded with a Worthington Industries logo when you see them in stores on the shelf at Lowe's, Home Depot, or Party City. So as you can see, we're in a lot of different markets and areas, not only just the steel industry. At Worthington, culture is one of the most important aspects of our organization. Our philosophy was written by our founder over 65 years ago, and since then, it has not changed since. In this philosophy, it walks through who we are as an organization, who we are as people, and how we treat our employees, our customers, our stakeholders, and basically anyone we come in contact with. We are truly a people-first organization who leads by the golden rule. So treating others the way we want to be treated. So as you guys start to apply to Worthington and get an opportunity to join our team, you'll be able to see this culture and this philosophy every time you walk into work at Worthington. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Lisa, and she's going to walk through a few of our open positions and entry-level opportunities that we have in the Columbus area.
Thank you, Gina. So as Gina alluded, we have 2 cylinders facilities in the Columbus area, and we have 1 steel facility, a steel processing plant. We are currently looking for folks entry-level positions in those 3 facilities. Now, this is a great place to come in, start with our company, learn, grow, and build a career. As you can see, the minimum requirements on the screen must be at least 18 years of age or older. That has changed with some of the state requirements, so we are able to actually employ some folks that are younger in their careers or younger in age. We have some physical abilities that we need folks to have: the ability to lift a minimum of 45 pounds on a regular basis. We need folks to be able to read, understand, and communicate the English language, be able to stand and walk through the required length of the shift. And then you must pass a pre-employment drug screen and employment background check. You know, those are just some of the minimum requirements. We can train you to do anything that we need you to do at Worthington. We're really looking for those folks who have those inherent core values and beliefs that we hold so dear, which is treatment of people and really respecting others' differences and allowing people to share their thoughts about how we can do things better. Really people who are excited to be part of a team. So that's really what we're looking for. We can train you to do anything. Some of the positions that we have available, as you can see, are those entry levels that we have. These are just some of the highlights of those. We have a starting salary of $16 an hour. The pay range is actually 16 to 19 for our facilities in the Columbus area. We consider your previous experience, if you have any in manufacturing or any relatable experience, for a higher rate of pay. We have performance-based merit increases. We are not a union facility, and we offer a shift differential for second and third shifts. Most of our openings are currently on those shifts. You'll see here we offer overtime pay, time and a half for anything up to 8 hours, and anything over 8 is double time. We do offer paid time off and profit sharing. After a 90-day probationary period, every employee is hired as a 90-day probationary employee. And then we offer performance evaluations 30, 60, and 90 days, and then semi-annually for all of our hourly folks. Again, we can train you to do anything that we need you to do at Worthington. We're looking for positive people who are excited about opportunities to grow. We often ask the question, why work at Worthington Industries, right? Well, so here are some of the things that we think sets us aside. These are ways that we can show people that they are our most important asset, right? So a lot of folks or other companies might make you wait for your benefits, your medical, vision, and dental insurance. Those are available to you and any dependents that you might have day one. You don't have to wait any length of time for that. After that 90-day probationary period, we offer profit sharing for all of our employees. So you can see that your work and your contribution is going to pay off, and that's paid out at a quarterly basis. We do have an on-site medical center and pharmacy right on our Columbus campus. You don't have to use them with our insurance, but it makes it convenient, and the staff there is phenomenal. We offer a barbershop in each of our facilities. We employ 2 full-time hairstylists, a barber and a hairstylist. So you can get your hair cut while you're working. And also we have a great workout facility on campus, as well as a fitness director who will work on a plan for you to make things better for you physically, get you good shape, keep you healthy. We also offer the tuition reimbursement for folks who want to continue their education, whether you're currently involved in a program like Columbus State Community College. We do have some folks that are working with that modern manufacturing program that Kaylor mentioned earlier. And you want to continue your education afterwards, or you start with us and decide later on that you'd like to go into a different field inside manufacturing, we will provide some tuition reimbursement for you.
Great. So this page really just highlights where you can find our career opportunities. So the website at the bottom, jobs.worthingtonindustries.com, is a website that we host for all of our job opportunities throughout the United States. But the QR code on the right side of the screen, if you have a smartphone, you could go ahead and hover over that, and that will actually bring up a link to all of our Columbus area only open positions, whether that be a corporate position. So maybe a few years down the road, after you get your 2-year degree or 4-year degree, we have opportunities at our corporate office for you guys. Or if you're looking for something now, right after you graduate from high school, we have those positions available on that website as well. If you guys do decide to apply to a position at Worthington Industries, please go ahead and reach out and let myself and Lisa know. We can go ahead and chat more about the opportunity and link you up with our hiring managers to interview and chat more about next steps. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen and pass it back over to Sarah to introduce the next speaker.
Thank you. So what better way to learn about the programs at Columbus State and how they are influencing young people here in Central Ohio, other than hearing directly from them. So Kaylor has a couple of students here, I believe, from Columbus State who are going to answer some questions and just share about their experiences in the Career Pathways program. And just maybe we can hear about their future plans and how they got started in the programs at Columbus State and the decisions that they made in order to get there now.
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much. So yeah, I have 3 students with us today. Jonathan Hernandez, Leila Sava, and Brady Williams are with us. And I'm going to let each of them go ahead and just kind of introduce themselves. So if you guys want to provide like a brief intro, maybe, your name, if you're a current student or an alumni, which program you are a part of, what your major is, where you're from, all that kind of good stuff. We'd love to hear it. Jonathan, we can kick it off with you.
Yeah. Good afternoon, guys. My name is Jonathan Hernandez. I'm a current information security analyst here at State Auto, and I graduated Columbus State 2019 of December. And yeah, so that's it. So what's next?
Awesome. Leila?
Hi, everyone. I'm Layla. I'm actually right now in my second semester at CSCC, and my major is EMEC, electromechanical engineering, and I just got an offer for a co-op internship position, and I think that's it.
Awesome. Brady, I'll go ahead and let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, hello. My name is Brady Williams. I'm in my second year of the bachelor program in electromechanical engineering. I work for Worthington Industries. I'm actually here right now. I just got off work. I'm hoping to finish up the work study this May and have some great opportunities along the way.
So can each of you give me a brief overview of what led you to choose Columbus State?
I can start. So I came from the Philippines like 2016 to 2017, and someone told me that Columbus State has one of the best English as a second language program here at Columbus. So I try it, and that's the same time that I figure and discovered that Columbus State has a cybersecurity program. So as a young kid from the Philippines, I want to do some computers. So, and this is the time that where, it's cool to be a hacker or something like a security professional. So this is something that I really love to do since I was young. So I try it, and I'm happy that I graduated with Columbus State because it opens a lot of doors for me. So yeah.
Awesome.
Same as Jonathan, I moved to the US at 2014. And before I moved to the US, I had my bachelor degree in industrial engineering. And I've worked as a quality engineer for 2 years. When I moved to the US, I wasn't able to evaluate my degree here. So after the first year I was at US, I was living in New York. And after I moved to the, Columbus, I was like looking what's my options are. And then I went to the Columbus State. I had an like entry exam or something, and then you reached out to me and told me about this program, and then I thought it's really good opportunity for me, especially like after like first year I'm able to go and work in a field I love to, and that's why I picked this program and this major, because I have a passion for this major.
Awesome. Thanks. And Brady?
Yeah, so initially in high school, I wanted to find something that I could do that involved me working with my hands, getting dirty, something new every day. And with the work study program, and not only the work study program, just a lot of the courses at Columbus State involved hands-on experience, working with trainers, working with the real life equipment in classrooms, and that just was so appealing to me. I wanted to jump right into it and learn as much as I could, and that's really the deciding factor for me was the hands-on experience at Columbus State.
Yeah, that's great. And I think so, Jonathan, I know you're at State Auto, and Brady, I know you said you're at Worthington Industries, and Leila just went through the interview process in the past week. She was a very busy girl. Leila, was it what, 14 interviews?
Yeah, I had 14 interviews. I got, yeah, it was really busy. But but it was good because I learned a lot, because each company they had their own process to interview. It was different. Some of them was like just like technical questions. Some of them was like behavior question. It was really different and educational. I learned a lot, and I learned a lot about like so many companies actually that are located at Columbus, and I saw, oh wow, there is a huge opportunity to working at like right now at my field like EMEC, and I was like really glad. But yeah, I have 14 interviews. I got 3-4 jobs offer, and I accept one of them. I'm going to start working with LI Miniers products.
Awesome. So we settled on allied minerals. We haven't connected since I last saw you. So that's fun. That's easy too. That's awesome. Congratulations. So I
Thank
think
you.
my question then to each of you, and I'm going to ask like maybe one or two more questions, then, you know, we can kind of, if anybody else on the line has questions for these students, you know, we can open it up. Absolutely. But why would you encourage someone to consider the Modern Manufacturing Work Study or ITFA program? Luckily, we have both represented here. So Layla, I know you're just on I see you in front of me. So if you want to start kind of why you would encourage someone to, you know, pursue a program like this.
I think actually I'm going to recommend that this work study to everybody I know. It's really interesting at this major because there are always you, David, Rob, like there's always somebody back there to support you, and you know what step you're taking, what's coming next, what you're going to do. So everything it's like organized, and they explain it like a step by step what we are going to do. And like I didn't know anything about how to make my resume, how it's going to be. Like you help, you, Julie, everybody at this program helped me to go step by step, make myself ready, and I search about the companies, learn more, and push myself. So I think the reason is there is a really good support with this program, and with each step you're taking, you are learning new thing. It's a lot of things. It's going to add like so many skills and things to your to my resume, to whoever is working at this program, and it's going to make you a really, really good candidate to a company wants to get you hired.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. And I saw a lot of head nods from Brady and Jonathan, but do you guys have anything to add to that?
Go ahead. Yeah, I can speak on the IT side of things. So I would say not just for the ITFA, but for Columbus State itself, because I would say that we have a good professors that will help you on your studies. I have good mentors when I was still studying, and when I enrolled for this particular program ITFA, I was able to explore that I have some skills that I don't know that I have, and it's a good thing that when I became a apprentice for State Auto, I was not just a regular intern. I'm not just a regular apprentice that just what other people portray, that hey, just get some coffee for me, what. I'm not doing that, or just like funny caricature, but State Auto gives me opportunity to speak up on what are the things that I know, because I contribute to the company, and they give me big projects to lead to about security and cybersecurity, and I was able to lead people. I was able to show what I have, and it's a testament for both myself and Columbus State that I can contribute to I can contribute to the company that I'm working on. So yeah.
Excellent. I'll follow that up with, is there anything through this program that has been difficult or that you would do differently for any of you guys as far as, you know, the work in the school? Was that difficult? I know some students get overwhelmed thinking about doing both at the same time. Can you guys speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, I could start. Something that kind of goes along with the work study is the Miami program that you can transfer to for your bachelor degree. The classes that I've been taking for the work study have been great, and the workload has been very moderate, very easy to work with, as well as working a job. But I wish I would have looked farther ahead and done some of those classes that I need for the Miami program a little sooner than now that I'm not behind in that department, but I could have been a lot more ahead, and it would have helped me. So looking farther ahead, not just at the upcoming semester for my scheduling, maybe a year in advance, or plan out your whole 2-year degree. I mean, see what you want to take, when you want to take it, and it would really help a lot. I wish I would have done that a lot better than I did.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. And, something we tell students, often is if you plan to pursue a 4-year through one of these programs, it's absolutely possible, but you got to communicate that want and desire early, because it can change some of the classes that you end up taking throughout your duration of the program to best set yourself up for success. So I love that you brought up that point, because that is a very real challenge that we see a lot of students face. And so, yeah, if you want to do a 4-year, absolutely possible. We'd love to make it happen, but you got to let us know so that we can make sure you get all those classes in, because sometimes there are an extra class here or there that help your transition to another university go smoother. I see a question here that says, how was the transition to college level classes? And I'd love for all three of you to answer that, if you don't mind, or how were your transition to classes here at Columbus State? So Jonathan, would you like to kind of kick us off with how was the transition to college level classes for you? Okay.
Do you mean by like being a college student to a professional? Is that?
I think it's from high school to college.
Oh, okay. So this is a I will say by just my experience, because this is a different. I finished my high school back home in the Philippines, so this is a different setting. So, but based on my experience here, it's more the culture. This is a change for me. It's a big change for a cultural stuff. So we have a limited resources back home, and now when I came here in United States, I discovered that I can maximize my skills with the right resources that I have in front of me, which was provided by Columbus State. So I would say that just from my experience, like I need to step up as a college student, because college student is just like a staging environment. It's like a it's like a stage where you're between high school and being a professional. So there's something that you need to adjust. There's something that you need to explore, and I would say that learning doesn't stop at classrooms. You need to learn outside of the classroom to make you become a better student and better person. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. And Brady, do you want to speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, I want to apologize. My coworker came in. He didn't realize that I was on this, but I just want to make sure. The question was the transfer between high school and college. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
How was the class transition from high school to college? Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot more is expected of you. Now, I don't mean to scare anybody with that, because it's not as overwhelming as it sounds. But you are expected to want to learn this. I mean, you're choosing to do this career possibly for the rest of your life, and you're expected to want to learn and want to really understand the knowledge, and that goes outside of class. Just like Jonathan was saying, it's not all in class learning. You have to apply yourself outside of class, and really make sure you want this degree is what you want. The field is what you want, because that is going to help tremendously with the transfer from high school to college. Because if you don't really want to do it, it's probably going to be just like high school, and it's going to be boring, and you're not going to enjoy it. And it would make your life a lot easier if you enjoy it and be able to apply yourself outside of class. So, I mean, I agree completely with what Jonathan said.
I see some good head nods from your fellow panelists as well. Well, thank you guys. And I know Sarah's going to turn it over now for our last little segment from Steelcase. And so if we have some time a bit at the end, we'll circle back for some additional questions for you guys if there are any, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for sharing your experiences, and just for being here today, taking time out of your schedule. We really appreciate it. And we did want to hear from Steelcase, who is a manufacturing partner here in Central Ohio, but also from Michigan and across the United States, I believe. They are going to share with us some opportunities that also exist for students coming right out of high school. And I believe we have two representatives from Steelcase who are going to share their experiences and opportunities there.
Awesome. Thanks, Sarah. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having Steelcase today. My name is Kelsey Krowicki, and I am a leader within Steelcase, actually within our field sales organization. So, unlike well-known names like Honda, you've probably never heard of Steelcase before. And I would say most people haven't, but just to kind of give a little bit of insight. So Steelcase is an office furniture manufacturing company, actually the largest office furniture manufacturer in the world. And so we're pretty new to working with the Big Futures Group and Big Brothers, Big Sisters. And so we really wanted to use the time today to kind of quickly introduce ourselves and who we are as a company, and really do a little bit of a commercial around who we are just as an organization, but really focusing specifically on our manufacturing and operations groups. And so I have a couple colleagues here with me today. Christian Carr is in the background, who's going to help us with some technology. And then we also have Jason Murphy, who will share in a couple of minutes. He is a manufacturing engineer within one of our plants, actually based out of Michigan. So before I dive a little bit deeper, we are going to play a quick video that kind of just gives you a little bit of insight into who Steelcase is as an organization, specific to our operations group. So Christian, when you're ready, I will ask you to share your screen and start that video. Thanks, Christian, for sharing that and for queuing up the slides. So as you can see, and as I kind of mentioned already, Steelcase is a global manufacturing company specific to office furniture. And so we have plants and distribution centers all over the world. And I would say Steelcase is really well known for our quality and for our excellence in manufacturing. It's been something that we've really just prided ourselves on over the 100+ years we've been in business. So while we don't have any specific manufacturing opportunities here in Central Ohio, I will talk about in a minute one of our dealer partners where we do have some local opportunities here, but really just wanted to use this as an opportunity to introduce you to Steelcase. Up here on the screen, we just have a couple of different statistics. As I mentioned, we've been around for over 100 years. So Steelcase was founded in 1912. We actually started as the metal office furniture company is what we were originally called. And our first product that we ever developed was a metal wastebasket. And it was pretty innovative for the time because at that point people were still smoking in offices and many office buildings were made of wood, and waste baskets were typically made of a wicker flammable material. And so coming out with a metal or a steel waste basket was pretty innovative for the time period. And so we've really prided ourselves on our innovation in terms of our product development and our processes over the years as well. So just a few quick hits, and then I'll ask Christian to go to the next slide. We have 1,700 patents, which we're very excited about as well, and about 11,000 employees. And so did want to talk about one of our dealer partners as well. So Steelcase, as I mentioned, is the manufacturer of the products. So we make the furniture, but we sell our furniture through a network of independently owned Steelcase authorized dealers. And so we have a really prominent Steelcase dealer based out of Columbus called Loth. You might have seen their office before driving through the city. They have a pretty big location there in Columbus on Grandview Avenue. But Loth is a Steelcase authorized dealer. And so they're really our premier distribution partner for the Central Ohio region. And so I wanted to mention them because while they're not owned by Steelcase, they often have opportunities locally within their installation and services teams. They have about 225,000 square feet of warehouse space in the Columbus area. As you can see, a picture of the new warehouse that they just got last year and one of their trucks. And then on the right, we have a couple of installation photos as well. The top is actually from Ohio State University, and the bottom is from the White Castle headquarters that they did a couple of years ago. So we really wanted to just bring some awareness to this industry, as office furniture is not something that most people are really aware of because it kind of flies under the radar. So wanted to put a little bit of a spotlight on Loth and also introduce you to Steelcase as well, and some local opportunities that we might have through the Loth organization. And so wanted to pass it over to my colleague, Jason Murphy, who I mentioned is a manufacturing engineer in one of our plants in Michigan, just to share a little bit more about his experience working in manufacturing for Steelcase. So Jason, I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you, Kelsey. Hopefully everyone's doing well today. As Kelsey mentioned, I am a manufacturing engineer at our Kenwood West plant, which is right next to Grand Rapids, Michigan. We make steel parts in this plant. I've been here for going on 6 years in August it would be. I actually started as a zone leader here at the plant, which is kind of like the first level of management in the plant. And one thing that I enjoy about Steelcase is pretty unique. I don't find this in any other places, is people that come and work here, they stay. It is really not common. I mean, it's really common that you would see people who work here for 30 plus years. And it's interesting because people feel comfortable and safe working here, but it's also an interesting time right now because a lot of those people are retiring, so we're hiring a lot of new people to fill in those positions in leadership roles, and in the skilled trades positions as well. So with that said, Steelcase, we offer, just as everyone was saying, tuition reimbursement. As I mentioned, people start here when they're really young. So people have started here straight out of high school, and they were a brake operator or someone working on the floor, and they got their education while working here at Steelcase, and then moved on to operation manager or an engineer or project manager, whatever position that they felt like they felt drawn to. But it's all stayed within Steelcase. What we do here at Kenwood West, we are looking for, we provide a lot of positions here, a lot in our skills trades. As you see the picture that's shown on the screen right now, there's a guy there that looks like he's grinding some parts that were just welded. So even if you're not interested in a 4-year degree and you want to go into the skilled trades area, there's a lot of opportunities there. Tool and die makers, we make our own tools and die, and there's equipment used to bend and form parts. Majority of those we make here. We do outsource some of those to other companies, but we are actually lucky enough where we can make a lot of our equipment here. So that gives us a lot of capabilities that some of our other, some other plants do not have. I'll just put it that way. Whenever we have a tool go down or break, we have the skill trades here within the plant that could get those fixed up and running within hours so that we can send our parts on to the customers without missing any scheduled completions. There's a vast variety of positions that are available. We do hire people through our manpower. Most of our people who are hired in on the floor on an hourly wage, they come in through manpower, and after a few weeks or so, they get hired in Steelcase directly, assuming they've met all of the protocols and requirements for that. So if you want to start, if you're not really sure where you want to go right away out of high school, if you just want to get a little bit of work under your belt before you make a big lifetime decision on what you want to do for your lifetime and your career, there are opportunities to start here and get an idea of what it's like to work in a manufacturing facility and see how you like it and see what opportunities will best draw you to that. As we see with the operator there on the left, working the line right there. So I'll keep it brief and short, partially, I know we're running short of time, but also because my computer is about to restart in 2 minutes and I can't stop it for an update. So I don't want to get cut off. I'll leave it there and pass it back to Kelsey or Sarah.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. It's funny, I had the same issue a couple of minutes ago. So thank you for sharing a little bit just in terms of your personal experience, Jason, in Kentwood West. And I'll just say that neither Jason or myself in particular are with our human resources or talent team, but if there is any interest for anyone listening in, I know that Sarah is going to be sharing my contact information, and so we can get folks connected to the right people within our organization. But as I mentioned, really wanted today to just be a quick commercial for Steelcase and for our dealer partner Loth, just to kind of bring some awareness to who we are in the industry, just so that you know that from a manufacturing perspective, there are opportunities in office furniture. So with that, I'm going to pass it back over to Sarah, I think, to wrap us up.
Great, thank you both. Thanks, Jason, before you get cut off, for joining us. We really appreciate your time. And I just wanted to summarize everything that we've heard today and see if there were any questions remaining especially for the student panel from Columbus State. But for our Big Futures kids and for any other students that might be listening or watching this as a recording later on, I think the best summarization of what we've heard and seen here today is that there are a lot of really great options out there, especially in Central Ohio, but even further afield. If you are a person who is hoping to travel or have some kind of exciting experience outside of Central Ohio, those opportunities are there for you too. So we've seen that the Columbus State Career Pathways is a program or an option that you can apply directly to straight out of high school. And within those programs, there are opportunities to be placed in a workplace experience where you'll be paid for your time and be able to continue your studies at the same time as well, while also getting the support that you need from Columbus State. I think we also heard from all of our professional partners from Honda and Worthington Industries and Steelcase that there are hiring opportunities straight out of high school if you're not really ready to take classes or you want to take a break from academics for a minute and just want to get your feet wet in the workplace. You can apply directly to entry-level positions, and a lot of those those opportunities are really great options as well, with really good starting wages and opportunities to advance and to try different things, as well as go back to school if you need additional certifications or degrees later on in order to make those steps up or change direction in the things that you're interested in for your future career. And then we also saw that there are positions with places like Steelcase that are outside of Ohio. And those are really great opportunities as well. So if you're thinking further afield or you want to have some kind of exciting experience that would take you away from the ups and downs of April weather in Ohio, then those experiences are there for you as well. So I'll just take a second and see if there are any additional questions in the chat, or if any of our partners that are on the call here with us wanted to say any last words before we wrap up. And then we'll say goodbye for the afternoon, and thank everyone for coming. So we will share the contact information for each of our partners, as well as Kaylor over at Columbus State for enrollment information and details about admissions to those career pathway programs. And we'll also share the link for the recording of this information session. And if you have questions about anything else and you don't feel comfortable reaching out to one of our professional partners, our Big Futures kids and the other students that were invited to participate in this event, you can always reach out to me or to Ida or to your school staff as well, and we will put you in touch with the right person. So I just want to thank everyone for being here. Thank you so much for taking time, and we will look forward to working together again in the future.
All right, Sarah, you're clear.
Great.
That was great, Sarah. You know, I think the recording is going to be amazing. So for us to be able to share that link with our kids that weren't able to make it, I think that's going to be, it's going to